Welcoming to the program today, Ann Forsman. Kathy Curvels is here from the Wollaston Garden Club because it's time for their annual outdoor plant sale. And ladies, it's going to be in person this year. How are you?
Oh,
Very good.
so we're great. Good morning.
Great to see you both. Unfortunately, we can't be in person just yet, but hopefully soon. But and the plant sale is a happening, and it's happening for real, right? Not virtual.
We are so excited. We can handle the virtual. We love, we're happy to be here on Zoom, but boy, there's nothing like being in person. And we love to say that yes, our plant sale is a fundraiser, but it's also a community event. And what's that without the community, So, but we will be socially distancing, and we will be masking, and we will be COVID protocol as needed. So we're ready to go.
Yeah, before we talk about all that coming up on Saturday, May 15th, actually, let's talk a little bit about how the club itself has been coping during this interesting time.
Well, Ann and I took over as co-presidents right as all of this really kind of hit its head, and we didn't have any meetings March, April last year, but we realized, and back then I think everybody was thinking, oh, this will be gone in a month or two. And, of course it wasn't. So we had to pivot, and we have a wonderful board of members, and we all just said, well, let's see what we can do. And thankfully we have Emily Lebo on with our membership, and she's just, I call her the Zoom master. I don't know how else to explain it. She just is really comfortable organizing and hosting, which can be really hard when there's, for a membership, sometimes we have 60, 70 people on the Zoom plus the presenter. So since September all the way through, we have had every month for our meeting, we have had a Zoom meeting with the presenter, and our members have really loved it. We have found out how presenters can move their programs from in-person to virtual and still make it really entertaining, So we're lucky that way. A lot of clubs have not had that capacity. So with such a big membership, we have over 116 active members. We have so many people that we can say, well, somebody will say, oh, I could help you with that, or that's something I'm good at, or, something I've done at another job or something. So we've been really lucky. And our membership has stayed with us, right, Ann?
The membership has stayed with us. But honestly, what Kathy's failing to mention is we started in September wanting to figure out, okay, yeah, we're going to go do Zoom, but will our people even do it? We have, we have no idea if people even have computers. So we started out in September, and I think we mentioned this during our green sale promo. We have members who baked cupcakes, have made treats. We have members who put together driving committees and have passed things out to every single member before every meeting, usually on the day of. With opportunity drawing raffle tickets inside baggies. And I mean, we've really made an effort. We've invited the other two garden clubs in town to join us at our virtual meetings on occasion. So we're really pulling out all the stops, but nothing like being in person.
Yeah, it's true. There's no substitute. Yeah. And have you found that folks, I know we talked about this a little bit before, but that folks have found the garden to be a respite during.
Of course. And we actually have picked up a couple of new members, which who knew we'd get new members during Zoom time? It's really, but yeah, they have, and people are, this is one of the things I want to mention about this year's sale is the community is so involved with gardening, so involved with things around their home, but they're also involved with our planet and our pollinators and the topics that are really hot right now. And as a response to that, our state garden club association has and we've got a 2-year long Go Native initiative. And I don't know if you can see this. There we go. We're gonna go. We have a pretty good percentage of plants that are native to the northeast part of our country, which will in fact, so we've been dividing those, and they'll be specially marked so that people will know which things are going to be there for their specific pollinators. So,
Gotta help the bees. Gotta help them.
bees, the butterflies, bring them on, baby.
Well, I think that's key, especially for a new gardener, to be able to have some success, right? That way to encourage them to continue, because if they start out gardening and things don't go really well, they're not going to be so motivated to keep going.
Right. And I think a lot of new gardeners don't realize that when we say native plants, it's a plant that has been grown here in the North American area for so long that it's adapted. It's comfortable here. You don't have to fuss overly much with it. It doesn't require you to be looking at it every day, wondering what it needs now. It's kind of on its own. Once it's established, people say, oh, it's running wild all over that back area in my yard. And I'm like, because it likes it there. It's found its good environment, and in one yard, you can have 2 or 3 what they call little micro environments,
Mm-hmm.
It's all sunny over here, but it's all shady over there, So when, as a new gardener, you can hear that and look at your yard in that way, you'll have more success, I think, with plants that you put in and let them get comfortable.
Yeah.
It takes about 3 years. People don't realize it takes about 3 years for a plant to really hit its stride, if you will.
Okay.
So it's fun. It's, if people, especially like Ian says, everybody wants to get outside. This past year has been tremendously trying. So anything you can do outside that gives you a little peace and calm, I say, 2 thumbs up. Let's do it more.
Well, it does seem that the city as a whole is really focused on the environment. We have a tree warden, right?
We are very excited about that as a club.
There's the new Quincy Tree Alliance that I just learned about.
Yes.
The library, I know, has a lot of programs to deal with the environment as well. So it does seem to be something that's on people's minds, at the top of people's minds.
Right, and you may drive down your street every day and see trees and not really pay much attention to them, but they are important, and it just makes more sense to pay attention to them. Not every tree lasts forever, but if you can have like this a tree warden who's paying attention to each and every tree, I'm super impressed. So it's good for us. It's all good.
Right. There's a Department of Natural Resources in the city focusing on restoring some of the local ponds that we never gave second thought to. So
That's right. That's right. We had Julie Sullivan, who is running that, as one of our presenters during the year. And our club members had so many questions, good suggestions for her after her presentation. It was really good. And so we would like to do more of that too, get more, like I'd love to have the tree warden come and talk to us about his approach, so it's good.
Yeah.
And a lot of, once we're back in person,
Yep.
most every of our members, our presentation is open to the public, is what I'm trying to say. We're, so when we list them in the paper and things like that, we're going to get back to that. We hope, right, Ann?
Oh, absolutely. We're on our way back. We know we are. We don't know when, but we know we're on our way back.
Right.
And I'm going to bring it on in along those same lines as the tree warden and the environmental specialist. At our plant sale, we almost always have master gardeners, because we have 5 in our club that are there to answer questions and work with people that are concerned about what plant to buy. Because Kathy made a mention of your microclimates within your own yard and sun versus shade, but there is a little bit more to it, and what plants will work with other plants, but that's really a great place to start, and many novice gardeners just don't know. So we have plenty of expertise that will be all around there, giving a helping hand to our community and families. And in addition to that, we donate plants to schools. We donate for their community gardens. It's it's an information source, not just a fundraiser. So, and don't get me wrong, we are definitely trying to raise some funds for our community projects. We give scholarships with this money. We do additional work around the parks with this money. We invite the community to our speakers and pay for the speakers with this money. and all of that it's just such a wonderful cause. So
Okay, let's talk about the sale then. It's Saturday, May 15th, and while you're doing that, I'm going to show folks the flyer here that's been put together by a member of your club, right?
Yes.
shout out to Susan Lynch. She
Yes.
has done a beautiful job with this flyer. She's a talented member. We love what she does. Signs are up too. We've got a few around town. Probably could do more signage, but whatever.
A lot of our sale is word of mouth. And I was just looking back at pictures I had taken from, not of course last year's, but the year before. And the line goes down Lincoln Ave. It just starts and people are looking over our little rope. And we start at 9 o'clock and we are cleaned up and pretty much donated most of what we're going to donate to the schools and everything by noontime. It's quick. I mean, I always say come back first, early for a best selection. And it's true because we do have close to 900 to 1,000 plants when all is counted up, but they go really fast. People come in and say, oh, I like that. And they buy 4 or 5 of them, So if you have something in mind, it's good to come early. And a lot of people take that to heart. That's why the line is down the street. So when they open the gates and let everybody in, it's like, whew, wow, it's a lot of, like Ann says, community. Everybody's chit chatting and just happy to be outside and thinking about something positive.
Sure. Now, this is the same place that it has been in years past?
Absolutely. It's in the side driveway of the Wollaston Congregational Church, which is on Winthrop Ave, the corner of Lincoln and Winthrop Ave. And that's where we all have our meetings, have had our meetings ever since they started in 1927. This club was started. So they've been a great partner with us, for Wollaston Congregational Church. And it will be all outside. It will be, every plant will be labeled. They'll tell you the name. They'll tell you whether it's good for sun or shade or pot shade. They'll give you as much information, and like Ian says, there's more information available from our master gardeners if you have a specific question, which I love to listen to.
Sure. And what will be the kind of safety protocols in place?
Well, excuse me. Well, everyone will be masked. We're spreading our plants out a little bit more. We definitely we are encouraging our members that are working the sale. Most of them have been double vaccinated, but not, that's our encouragement. And we are just doing the best we can to follow our protocols. So we'll help as needed and try to keep the crowds from beating down each other to get to those plants.
And it is good that it's outside.
Yeah,
Sure.
We can spread out quite a bit in the outside, and we've got enough of our people that we can staff it that way. And we are optimistic it's going to go smoothly. And I do think that our community is very cooperative, so I think we're all right. And I was looking through our list of plants. We have so many interesting native plants this year. This year we've got some turtle heads. If anybody has been down at the newly renovated, Kincaid Park, I guess it's 1.5 years, 2 years now, but there's so many native plants in there, and one of them they've got some turtle heads in there that are the most they look like little heads of turtles. Anyway, they're the cutest things, and who knew we would be able to offer them because they've come from a local garden. Roseanne geraniums, all kinds of interesting colors of daylilies, some ribbon grasses, some coreopsis, some baptisia, which is an actual shrub. We've got lilacs this year. So we've got good native we've got some good, really interesting things, along with the expertise to tell you how to plant it and where it should go.
I saw you had listed vegetables, but is it too soon to put those in, do you think?
You really have to keep an eye. Home Depot and Lowe's love to put their vegetables out early, because then if they get nipped, you have to go back and buy some more. Theirs is a business. But right now we're approaching a pretty good time to be putting them in.
Okay.
The people who put them in last week and 2 weeks ago during that beautiful couple of days, their plants will really slow down. They may not totally get nipped, but they'll just, if it's really cold, they just totally stop growing. They go into
Right, and it can weaken them for when they do start growing again. So it's
It's hard
tough.
to wait, though. It's
It's
so
tough.
hard to wait. As soon as it gets nice out, we all want to be in the dirt.
Well, I mean, to that point though, can't you start things indoors over
Sure.
the months? Yeah.
Of course, and many people do. Yeah, if you've got a good sunny window, and some people have grow light setups, and yeah, you really can. And then you do have to be careful bringing them outside because there's a hardening off period, and there's lots of information. I'm not going to go into it, but if you want to know how to harden off your plants, just do a YouTube video or two because it's really interesting. But plants can't be taken from this beautiful, calm, tropical environment under the grow lights or in the sunny window to the outside harsh wind and drying out wind and dips in temperatures. They don't like it. So they need to be gradually introduced to that area. So that's a whole science in itself. And many people struggle, even experienced gardeners have trouble getting their seedlings outside.
Sure.
So if you tried it and your seedlings didn't do much, come buy some plants from us.
Right.
Yeah, and get some information, right?
And get some information, absolutely.
Right, because we started digging. We started digging about 3 weeks ago, and it was tough because there are some plants that just hadn't poked their heads up yet. So we just had to leave them alone and hope that they'll come back. They'll come up before we have to give them about 2 weeks in a pot to make them recover, help them recover, in order to present them for sale at the plant sale because it shocks the plants when you do it. But if you do it correctly and give them time to recover, they'll be great. And
yeah, it's like taking a hot shower and then running outside in December, right?
You got that right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What does the Wollaston Garden Club do for Cleaner, Greener Quincy this year?
We have several sites for Cleaner Greener. We always work at the corner of Beale Street and Newport Ave. There's a hillside there across from the Wollaston Fire Department and where the Ann Hutchinson Stone is. And I got to say, I drove by it yesterday. It looks so nice. And then across the street from that, right at the corner, we maintain and groom and maintain that little area too, which looks beautiful. We had members at Josiah Quincy House and Cynthia Lewis and just does a beautiful job over there maintaining that historic New England garden in that area. And Rebecca Dinsmore often is at Dorothy Quincy House. I don't know how much they were able to do there this year, but she usually maintains that. And if they don't get to it that day, they do it another day.
Okay.
The Wollaston Hill, I want to just give a shout out to Walter Hubley and the Wollaston Hill Association, who did a lovely job at Safford Park.
Oh,
that really looks nice. They took care of all of those beds there. They've been a great partner for us, and I really am happy to mention the good work they do.
And we don't want to forget Clea down at where you are at the library, Clea Fitzmaurice and her team taking care of those 2 beautiful gardens. Well, 3 are just a progression of gardens, really. She's just in her team, and I think she had, was it high school kids or?
I think she's middle school kids.
Middle school.
Meadows,
oh, that's nice.
For a Cleaner, Greener, right? Yeah,
Yeah, they did a beautiful job.
Yeah, it really looks fabulous. It's a pleasure to walk to work, every day and go by there. Yeah.
And that's one thing that gardens do. They lift up your spirits. You don't even know that it's happening. It's just, it does make you feel better. So, any improvements all over the city that the city has done at this intersection or that intersection, I applaud. I say good for you because they're looking at what everybody drives by or walks by every day and trying to improve it. Can't say anything bad about that. I don't think.
I would like to actually thank Claire as well, since you're talking about the library gardens. Claire, in fact, we divided perennials there. So some of the beautiful rudbeckia, which is a native black-eyed Susan, and many of the lilies that are in our sale came right from those library gardens. So when we were there working, there were people walking by saying, "Ooh, who are you? What are you doing?" So we explained and I said, please come to the plant sale. And if you would like to join our club, we will have opportunities to join our club there as well. So
yes,
we're very welcoming and we would love new community members.
Yep.
I know you have a active website folks can go to, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. WollastonGardenClub.org. calm. Yes.
Boston Garden Club will get you there.
Garden Club in your Google search engine. You'll be right there.
That's right. Yep. Okay. Anything else we should?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know. We could talk all day with you. It's just you're a comfortable person to talk to. We appreciate you
thank
letting
you.
us come on.
I appreciate that, but
We
we should
really-
definitely review the plant sale again for folks to let them know.
And it will be rain or shine. And I say that with all hopes that it will be not raining. But at the beginning of the week, I always start looking at the weather and hoping that it changes. Right now, it's a little up in the air, but we will do it rain or shine. So gardeners know that.
Yes, they're a hardy bunch for sure, right?
Just got to dress correctly. Yes.
And if it doesn't,
Well-
the plants will love it.
Yeah, the plants don't mind the rain.
They need the rain.
How is the season going so far? I mean, there was some concern about dry conditions, although that seems to have changed recently.
Seems okay so far. It was very dry, but like you say, we're doing just fine now with rain.
Yeah.
Let's see. But we're okay. Things were slow getting out of the ground, though. Kathy made mention of that. Like some of these perennials, some of the things that we normally look for, they just did not want to get out of bed.
Yep, exactly.
Oh.
So
But,
they're on their own time schedule.
yeah, well, judging by the pollen in the air now, I think things are happening for sure.
Oh, for sure. Right. That's it. Trees are
All right.
blooming. That's where all the pollen comes from. So
Well, I wish you another successful plant sale. It's nice to have you back in person. I know that it was unfortunate that 2020 was kind of a wash. Not only that, but with everything.
well, we did do virtual plant sale last year, but it was very different.
How did it go? I was going to ask. How did it go?
We probably only sold 300, 400 plants,
Sure.
but to do it all virtually. So it was interesting. People just ordered online, and sometimes we dropped them off, and sometimes they came by my house and picked them up. And,
Yeah.
just it worked. I mean, it wasn't what we are used to, but it was a smaller version of it. But we are so happy to get back to in-person. There's nothing like in-person.
You think you might continue a limited online type of event too?
We may. That's actually a very interesting question because there are some parts of the virtual stuff that really do work.
Mhm.
Like some prior orders for our green sale were very effective. And so we are looking into what it is that we could continue to do to best serve our members. How are they the happiest? What are the things that can be done online?
Sure. Or maybe some of the presenters that folks can't get to, in person, but might be able
Exactly.
to.
Yeah. Can we do a Zoom as well as an in person?
Yeah.
Because we do have some members that their mobility is challenged, so why not?
Right.
So anyway, that's the kind of thing that I think any responsible club or any responsible organization is looking into. How do we best serve the people, our community?
Yep.
So
So silver
always
linings
a
through all
discussion.
this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right,
Thank you
ladies,
so
thanks
much,
again.
Joe.
Good to talk to you both. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
It's our pleasure. I hope you have another great event, and please reach out if we can be of any help here at QAT.
All right. Come by if you can.
Okay.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.